Long ago, a wanderer brought an enthralling gift to the people of Embervale. The elixir. It was a cure, a blessing, a weapon. Once concealed by the ancients, its might had been set free. With it came power, mistrust, and a longing for more. Humanity dug the elixir wells, ripping apart the land and each other to quench their thirst. Elixir and blood, a drop for a drop. But from the depths of the wells, an unforeseen curse crept into Embervale. The Shroud, a ruinous fog which sought only to spread and devour. Facing their downfall, ancients and humans united to forge the Flameborn. Now, your time has come. Awake.
Hello, and welcome to Enshrouded. Decided to go ahead and start a season of Enshrouded and see how it goes. And, well, there's nothing for it but to get into it. Hey, our first quest. I'm not going to do too much in terms of story. You know, I might pause on each of the scrolls and stuff like that, so, you know, if you want to, you can pause and then read. I'm not going to read everything, so, you know, we'll just see how things go. A whole lot else is available, but we get to claim a spot for our base. Gathering these things, twigs, plant fibers, is really important at the beginning. As you kind of go along, you're going to have limited opportunities to get those right off the bat. So I just gather as much as I can here. Vast world awaits you. Isn't that lovely? So, alright, so it wants us to put the first base here, but you don't necessarily need to do that. We're going to go to that location just to check it out. There's going to be a little beacon and stuff like that that says, hey, put it here, but you don't need to do that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it somewhere else and just kind of get rid of these, these little tutorial tips as we go along. And this is all the stuff that you can make right now. You know, the flame altar, the torches, the bow, and this will be added as you go along, as you unlock other things and so forth. Ooh, it's a long way down. It's beautiful countryside though. Alright, first scroll, well, first book. Once again, it's really tempting to just jump on down there. So, let's see what happens. And there's the death mechanic. So when I respawn, it brings me back to my last flame altar that I visited. And my inventory is gone. My action bar will still be there, but a lot of stuff from my inventory, mostly materials that you can craft and stuff like that, will be gone. So I would just go ahead and rest up, get our rested bonus back. And the rested bonus basically just gives you kind of stamina regeneration, which is really nice when you're out around in the world. And hey, look at there, it put our tombstone right at the edge where we jumped off, which is nice. We don't have to actually go down and retrieve it. There we go. Alright, and we're on our way. Early game, little things like bandages and torches, especially when they're free, make a big difference. Let's go ahead and put those there. And a lot of the stuff you can break down. You can break it down with your hands. You can get your torch or whatever to break them down. But generally speaking, it's fairly easy to break them down with your hands. Just that lantern, just thing just doesn't want to go. Anyway, so you can get wood logs, stuff like that. Just kind of little starter materials, kind of free. Another torch. So with a torch, you can throw it down using E like that. And grab it back. But if you're finding yourself like if you're mining or something like that and it's dark, you can throw the torch down and continue mining and you got light. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of weird because it's like one of the only things that you can actually drop once it's into your inventory. Everything else you have to salvage or delete. Okay, that looks like it might lead somewhere interesting, but I believe up here I saw an opening. There we go. Oh yeah, okay, explosives. Explosive balls are cool. And make sure you keep your distance, and then, yeah, there we go. And our first silver chest. Hey. Weird. A nice hatchet. The first time I played, when I was just messing around trying to figure out the mechanics and everything, I got that hatchet and I thought it was what you used to chop down trees, but no, it's a weapon. So it's not an axe, it's a hatchet. Used to attack people, not to attack trees. Well, worked pretty well on that opening. Hey, chest. More torches and bandages. Free bandages early on are sweet. Alright, and that right there is the Shroud. That'll be our first experience in the Shroud. And the Shroud is, it's creepy. But the big thing about the Shroud is that you can only be in the Shroud for a certain amount of time. To begin with, you only get a little bit of time, but as you increase your flame, then you get more time available in the Shroud. And there we go. 5 minutes. So if we don't get out of the shroud within 5 minutes, well, the shroud consumes you. Little cute. Oh, and I mapped my my keys to different keys than what are default. So Q is not the default key. I forget what the default key was, but yeah. So don't think that you're going to be able to use Q. Oh, it's not a bad short sword. But I like to map the dodge to Q. That way it's readily available. It's there. I don't have to go hunting for it. I think it was like Alt or something like that before. That was really awkward for me. It does work pretty well for breaking those things down. Although it's wrecking the durability of the torch. So most things with the durability. Oh, and here's the first thing. So these little flame beacons. If you get near it and it flames up in response to you, then whenever you die, you'll go back to that. So that will be your respawn point. Yes. Ooh, the purple berries. Purple berries are nice. Early game, they give you health regen. Later on in the game, I think they're used for, you know, making other foods or potions or something. So but purple berries are always good. Purple berries and red mushrooms. Ah, and the hives. And you'll need that honey down the line too. It'll be tempting just to use it right off the bat, but you'll need it for other things down the line. Let's see, can I make... Oh, I just need a string. Cool. Alright, now we have a shield. So if we equip this, it disappears from our inventory, but it's always available. Whenever we have a one-handed weapon, it'll be there. It's kind of a nice little feature. So it doesn't take up an inventory slot. Wounds. Gather some free resources while we can. Ooh, metal scraps. Metal scraps early game are huge. There's a lot of these beds around the world. If you want, you can lie down them, and if you find yourself out in the, around the world and you find one of these little tents or something like that with a bed in it, you can sleep, and the night goes by faster. It's nice. Ooh, free animal fur, nice. Alright, so we got some torn cloth and a string, which means we can make a bandage. And looks like we just need some string for both the axe and the pickaxe. And there we go. And we need some more twigs and string for a bow. Alright. And most weapons, when they run out of durability, they just kind of aren't usable anymore until you repair them. Torches, when they run out of durability, they just break. They're gone. Oh. Got excited about some berries for a second there. Jasmina is a figure that will become pretty common as we go along. Oh, rats. Rats are a pain. They're easy to kill, but they so often just get the jump on you, and they get free hits on you and everything, and you could be in trouble if there's a lot of rats. And water is really nice. It only lasts for 10 minutes, but it gives you an endurance and a stamina recharge buff. So water early game is really important for keeping your stamina up. Mushrooms give you intelligence. There's the stamina recharge from the honey, but like I said before, you'll be tempted to use the honey. I would save the honey, because you're going to be using it for other things later on. Ooh, free water. And here's a little campfire to teach you how to cook with a grilled mushroom. So you can, the regular mushrooms are 1 intelligence. You got 2 intelligence for the grilled mushrooms. So grilling the mushrooms is well worth it if you're going to be using magic in some fashion. Alright, so you put the food in your action bar and you just hold down the left mouse button and you cook. And then you get grilled lean meat. So the grilled lean meat gives you a constitution buff. Constitution basically is more health. Go ahead and cook all 3 of those real quick. And you'll notice our rested buff is going up because we're sitting by a fire. Nothing else over here. And of course it's getting dark because I've been taking my time. Yeah, so that's where it wants us to go, is that beacon. Oh, and wells. Wells are really important. If you see a well anywhere, stop by, grab as much water as you can get. Water becomes really important down the line. Use it for growing seeds, use it for potion making, use it for different foods. It's just is so important. And now I can drink water. I can use some food, and you can see on the upper left my buff bar. or my buff buttons, and so now I've got 3 buffs. So that's the way the buffs work. You can have up to 3 buffs at any particular point in time. You can only have 1 from any particular food type. So I've got a drink with the water symbol. I've got a food with the meat symbol, or a meat with the meat symbol, and I've got a mushroom with the mushroom symbol. Which at this early game is pretty significant. So let's kind of make our way out, at least toward the beacon, after I get a little bit of wood here. And then these things here, early game, can give you torn cloth and string and stuff like that, which is, you know, for free resources. It's really nice. Oh, and these targets usually have free arrows on them. Yeah. Those are actually pretty good arrows. The scrap arrows are a bump up from the initial arrows that you can make. Ooh, and there's some bad guys. Didn't even see him in the dark. Alright, fireflies. Fireflies are nice. They're nice for a number of things in the later game. Well, in the early and the later game. Mostly, you know, stuff related to illumination. But eventually you can make a kind of a portable illumination where you don't have to hold a torch, which is really important when you're fighting. And it's like a kind of a short-term buff. Alright, so here it wants us to build a flame altar, but we don't have to place the altar in the plains or here if we don't want to. Just anywhere above the shroud, and we can go ahead and establish our base. So we are going to hold off on establishing a base right now and just gather some things. And I'll meet you when we get ready to move on. Okay, we're just about ready to move on, but I wanted to show you the red shroud and the area in the distance that's red. That means our flame is not high enough to move on. And now we can move on. Ooh, free health potion. Whoops, free arrows. All right. So this bridge is here, but we can't use the bridge yet because there's a grappling hook emplacement over there that we could use if we had a grappling hook, but we don't have a grappling hook yet. Moving on. All right, and now it's time to go down into the Shroud. So you can see up there the 5-minute timer. Ooh. First bad guy in the Shroud. Yeah, when he blocks like that and you're finding that you can't do anything. Ooh, nice ring. Just go ahead and move around him and start hitting him in the back, and he'll stop blocking real quick. These things are nice because you can restore the time in the Shroud, so if I took that it would actually like count back up to 5 minutes. But we don't need it right now because we're not going to be in the Shroud very long. All these little mushroom looking things give you Shroud liquid, which will be important a little bit later on, but we're not going to worry about them right now because our inventory is just about full. Or, well, it's pretty much full. And here we are, out of the Shroud. And facing a little climby wall. And here we are. Now this is, I think, where we're going to make our initial base, like over here in this area. But the first thing I'm going to do is cook some stuff. Oh, looks like the wolf killed something. Archer! Block those shots and then BAM! And this is the other side of the bridge that we didn't go across. I think this is going to be a good spot. Oh, there we go. And there's our first flame altar. Now that will replace our quest, but now we have the option to upgrade the altar. If we have some Shroud cores, we'll get those later, and that is going to expand the area we can build in. We can strengthen the flame, which increases our flame level, which exposes some of that red stuff. Gives us more altars to be able to build, but it gives us more time in the Shroud. That's one of the big things, plus the character attribute bonuses. So in order to increase that, we need a bunch of things, including the Shroud liquid that we talked about before, some sparks, which we'll get later. And we can also reset our skill points, which is pretty cheap. 10 runes, and you can reset all of your skills. So it's real easy to just change your spec whenever you want to. Just costs a few runes, and bam, there you go. In our new quest, we gotta find the sleeping survivor. It says we'll have to venture through the Shroud, which isn't actually true. If we had made our home on the other side of the Shroud, then we would have to venture through the Shroud, but we've already done that. Go ahead and make a workbench. The building is sometimes finicky, especially depending on where you're standing. There we go. And one of the, so we can build a construction hammer. If we're going to build things, we'll use that. We can make some chests, which are important. A glider is going to become important soon, but we'll need shroud wood from the Shroud. Most of the trees in the Shroud give you shroud wood. And shroud spores we just get from just, you know, defeating those guys that are in the Shroud. Okay, we don't have any slots available. Go ahead and cook some stuff real quick. Now we have slots. It's important to note that those don't stack. There we go, storage. Yeah, just make 10 of those and we're all good. So now we have over 100 arrows. And now we're capable of being ranged. Now when you equip the bow, it's kind of cool because now you can hit your ranged key, which I have mapped to Z, and you can just draw it no matter what weapon you have. Or you can select it manually and you can draw it there. If you want to change your arrows dynamically, you kind of have to select it manually. You can't just go to Z and do it there. Now we'll grab some buffs. A little water for some stamina. And spend a couple of points. Now the first thing I like to do when spending my points is get some endurance, because endurance early game is very big. Well, it's big throughout the game, but you know, so you know, each of the different spec types have their own kind of main attributes. You got the strength, constitution, intelligence, spirit, and dexterity for your bow skills or ranged skills. And now maybe some clothing. So I need 3 strings for that, and then 2. So I need 7 strings total. And now I can make my clothing. I don't have to be naked. Mostly naked. And don't need those anymore. And now we are clothed. Look at us. Feel almost civilized. Alright. There we go. Top off our health with the purple berries. Now if we had the grappling hook, we could just pop up there, but we don't have one yet. So these little metal pieces right here, they'll give you metal scraps. Those are nice. That also took down the wall, and then of course we got a bow. Alright, swap that over. And there's a guy right there. Let's see if we can take him out before he gets to us. He's level 3, so if he hits us, it's gonna hurt. There we go, okay. Ooh, hidden tomb. Alright, and there's a guy up there. A little higher up. Come on. There you go. Sweet. Alright. Now these things right here with the metal on them, they also give you the metal scraps. I'm not going to take all these down, but just kind of to show you. There we go. Metal scraps. Bing. Without a glider, you gotta be a little careful getting down there because it hurts. Little free animal fur. And there's a lot of flint stone here. So if you're looking for flint stone. Alright, and now we're just going to go ahead and go back to our base. So if you go to the map, you see you've got these little home icons here, the yellow icons that are fast travel. So you can fast travel to the cinder vault where you started. I can fast travel to my home altar there, or my flame altar that I just put in. You can also fast travel to the last visited altar. So the last altar that we've visited was our home. So just go to the map, hit R, and then boom. Here we are. Well, thank you for joining me in the Shroud. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. I will see you next episode. Bye-bye now.